Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a massive, multi-billion-dollar invisible economy. I know, we've all seen the dramatic headlines claiming the whole metaverse trend completely fizzled out and died. But as we're about to see, the actual data tells a vastly different and highly profitable story. A story that a surprising number of brands are just entirely missing right now. Okay, let me just throw this number at you. $4,115. That is the actual price someone recently paid for a purely digital Gucci bag on Roblox. Think about that for a second. That is literally more than the physical bag costs in the real world. If that doesn't make you completely rethink how we value virtual goods, I honestly don't know what will. People are putting real premium value on pixels. We are constantly being told the metaverse flopped. And sure, on one side you had the hype, those empty ghost town virtual lounges built by banks that rightfully failed. But then you look at the reality. Kids and young adults are dropping over $5.5 billion a year on Fortnite cosmetics alone. That's billion with a B. And the craziest part? These items give them absolutely zero gameplay advantage. You don't run faster, you don't shoot better. It's purely about social status and identity, which, is a massive psychological driver for buying anything. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. The hype versus reality, 2. The new digital mall, 3. The winners and losers, 4. How virtual goods actually sell, 5. The metrics that matter, and finally, 6. The 2030 playbook. All right, let's jump right into part 1, the hype versus reality, and why the headlines completely missed the mark. Here's the thing. While executives at major brands were busy buying up fake land for millions of dollars just to get a quick PR hit, they completely missed the actual migration happening right under their noses. Gen Z quietly packed up their entire attention economy, their social lives, and their lunch money and moved over to massive, already established gaming platforms. So yeah, the hype flopped, but the commerce, it didn't disappear at all. It just moved where the people actually are. Which brings us to part 2, the new digital mall and where Gen Z is actually shopping. We really have to rewire our brains here and stop thinking about physical anchor stores and mall food courts. To a 16-year-old today, the game is the mall. It's exactly where they go to hang out with friends after school. And their avatar? That's the mannequin. Dressing that avatar is pure identity. They absolutely refuse to look like a default free-tier player, and they are more than willing to spend real cash to stand out. Just look at the massive gap in the daily users. You had platforms with all the Web3 blockchain hype getting 500 daily active users at their peak? It was practically empty. Meanwhile, a closed, highly polished ecosystem like Roblox has 79 million people logging in every single day. You want those massive walled gardens because in retail, whether it's physical or digital, traffic is literally everything. Okay, moving on to part 3, winners and losers, because traffic always beats land ownership. Gucci is actually the perfect guinea pig here because they tried both strategies. They did a limited time event inside high-traffic Roblox and boom, 20 million visits plus that crazy $4,000 bag sale we talked about. It completely crushed their other strategy, which was buying permanent virtual land in a total ghost town where their land value tanked 95%. It just proves once and for all that massive traffic will always beat owning digital real estate. Nike figured this out incredibly fast, too. They saw that the whole crypto jargon thing was actively turning mainstream consumers off. So what did they do? They just dropped the word NFT completely. They started calling them virtual creations instead, quietly used a back-end blockchain, and sold $1.9 million of virtual sneakers in a single drop. They kept a $185 million digital revenue stream alive just by reading the room and ditching the toxic buzzwords. Let's get into part 4, how virtual goods sell and the toolkit that actually converts. Remember, you can't just slap up a traditional Shopify site here and hope for the best. You've got 3 main tools in your kit. First up, drops. Since digital goods are technically infinite, you have to create artificial scarcity to drive that massive FOMO. Second, collabs. This is cultural arbitrage, like that huge Travis Scott concert in Fortnite that completely merged music and gaming. And third, user-generated content. I mean, Roblox pays out $800 million a year to its own creators. Let millions of users create and sell your brand's inventory for you. It's unbelievable scale. But hey, it's not always about direct digital sales. Chipotle did this brilliant thing where they gamified real-world utility. They built a virtual maze, had 8 million players navigate it to roll a virtual burrito, and the prize was a real-world coupon code. It drove insane foot traffic right into their physical stores. And when you look at the ROI, it was vastly cheaper and far more effective than dropping $5 million on a passive Super Bowl ad. It really just comes down to what your goal is. You want immediate revenue? Go for direct sales, where you can get wild 95% margins selling $10 skins. Or you can play the long game with indirect sales. You build a free, persistent space, like Vans World did, to indirectly drive physical shoe sales. The margins are lower, around 50%, but it builds incredible lifetime loyalty. Both work beautifully. You just have to pick your lane.
Part 5. Metrics that matter. Time to move past the vanity metrics.
Look, if you hand your CFO a report bragging about PR articles or the floor price of your NFT, you are absolutely going to lose your budget. Toss those vanity metrics right in the trash. You need to be tracking daily active users, actual time spent immersed in your experience, your concrete conversion rates, and the real revenue your community is generating. That is the undeniable proof of actual business value. And here is the ultimate checkout reality check that ruins so many campaigns. If a user can just double-click Apple Pay on their phone, boom, 80% conversion rate. It's seamless. But the second you force them to navigate away, set up some clunky Web3 crypto wallet, and memorize a 12-word seed phrase, your conversion rate tanks to a dismal 5%. You absolutely have to remove the friction. All right, let's bring it home with Part 6, the 2030 Playbook, and selling without the buzzwords. Things are moving crazy fast. Over the next couple of years, AI text to 3D tools are going to make virtual inventory instantly infinite. We're going to see AI sales reps working 24/7, speaking 100 languages for a fraction of the cost. And by 2030, we are looking at 1 billion people walking around with augmented reality glasses, experiencing a persistent digital layer right over the real world, with seamless checkouts everywhere. The greatest trick this tech is going to pull is disappearing entirely. You're not going to consciously log in to a metaverse anymore. You'll literally just tap the air as you walk down the street to buy something. The invisible commerce layer will just be everywhere. So it's really time to drop the distracting buzzwords and focus on how to actually sell in this environment. The cash register has already moved, guys. The attention is deeply embedded in these spaces right now. So I leave you with this to ponder. Are you going to keep chasing empty buzzwords in ghost towns, or are you absolutely ready to master the new digital mall? Think about it. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.